Over to Delano.
All right, Brigida, now on bounce. If you're used to doing it yourself with projects around the house, you might be tempted to DIY when you're selling your home too and not hire a real estate agent. But is that a smart move? I want to welcome licensed realtor Kristen Honeycutt to the show. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you tonight.
Thanks for having me, Delano.
Yeah, dear friend of mine. So, Kristen, what are some questions homeowners should ask themselves before going this route and making that decision?
Well, the question is really, it's twofold. Can you sell your house by yourself? Can you do it? If you want to sell your house, can you do it by yourself? The answer is yes, you can.
Okay.
Legally, you can.
All right.
Should you sell your house by yourself? That's a whole nother question. So what we want to talk about is, do you have the knowledge that it takes to get through that transaction seamlessly and coming out without a lawsuit and all kinds of other crazy things? And questions that you should ask yourself if you're thinking of going this route is, how will you price your home? How would you decide if you were going to sell your house? How would you decide what the price is?
Okay, and let's say that, first of all, the amount of paperwork is just ridiculous.
It is a lot of paperwork.
I mean, it's just crazy. What happens if you price your home too high or too low?
Well, if you price your home too high, it's just going to sit and sit and sit. So you're not going to get the house sold. So if your ultimate goal is you've got 60 days to get out of this house, you need to get a move on. You've got to price the home appropriately. You have to have all of your property disclosures available for people to take a look at, which means you're disclosing any and all things that may or may not be wrong with the home. You have to divulge all that information.
Right.
You can't just hold it to yourself and hope nobody finds out.
Right, yes.
That's illegal.
Right.
So there's a lot of legality that comes into it that a lot of people don't think about. They think, well, I'm just going to save me some money. But you might end up costing yourself money.
Absolutely.
And as it turns out, a study not long ago by the National Association of Realtors showed that the average home price sold by a real estate agent was about $249,000, and for people who sold it by themselves, somewhere around $180,000, $190,000.
Wow.
So you think you're saving money, but you might not be, because how do you even go about pricing it? Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to tell you exactly how to price your home.
All right. What resources can homeowners look in to figure out how to market their home competitively if they're going to continue to do this, they want to do that? Are there any tips or things they can read about?
Well, you know, the best thing you can do really is talk to neighbors, because what an appraiser is going to do on the buyer side is going to find out what the comps are in your neighborhood for the last 6 months to a year. So, so what have like homes sold for?
Okay.
That's important. And then you really have to make sure that your home is like. Because if theirs had all the granite and the marble and all this kind of stuff, and you don't have all those updates,
right,
your home, you're not comparing apples and apples.
I got you.
And that's where a real estate agent can really help you nail down that pricing, where you're kind of just playing a guessing game.
You're also dealing with marketing duties as well, right?
Absolutely.
Sales and marketing duties. That's a lot to take on.
Absolutely. So most for sale by owner folks, they put a sign in the yard. They might put something on in the newspaper, Craigslist. They might even put it on some kind of for sale by owner website or social media. That's great, but you're missing about 80% of the buyers out there who are tied into an agent who are looking at MLS. If you're not in MLS, other agents don't even know your property's for sale.
Okay. All right. So
yep.
you just heard what we just talked about. It being better for you to go probably through a real estate agent, but somebody's still out there and they say, I think I can do this. Anything they should need to know or understand? Well,
I think you need to understand the following. You need to understand contracts, property disclosures, due diligence, earnest money, inspections, appraisers. Can buyers back out? Can a seller back out? These are all things that most people don't know. So if you're not going to use a real estate agent, you're just bound and determined. Make sure you have a great real estate attorney at the very least on your side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great ideas. Appreciate you coming. To get in contact with Kristen, you can reach her at the number and email on the screen right there. We have all that information and more on WBTV.com. Look in the Web Extra section right there on the home page. And I just sold my house back in October after 14 years. And I cannot imagine trying to do that by myself. I was confused and
it's a lot.
You know, with people around me. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot. You know, we have hundreds and hundreds of hours of training and apprenticeship and things that we do to make sure that we know what to do.
Absolutely.
We don't expect you guys to know it. That's why we're here.
All right, Kristen Honeycutt, we appreciate you. Licensed real estate agent. Always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
You want to mention your radio station as well?
Sure. You can always listen on 102.9 The Lake. I'm still there doing afternoons.
Doing
my thing.
I hear you. All right. Always good to see you. Let's get back over to Brigida.
Thank you, Delano.